What is up, people? Welcome back to the Tony Aromas YouTube channel. Today I'm going to do something a little bit different. I haven't really done this on this YouTube channel before, so I'm very excited. This is an idea that I've been having for probably quite some time now, which I wanted to do over on TikTok and Instagram, but I just haven't gotten around to it. But I have 20 plus fragrances that I've picked up, whether it was sent to me or I bought it myself in the last 4 to 6 weeks. So I kind of wanted to do like a monthly pickup type video, but I'm just gonna do it for the last like 6 weeks or so because there's some really cool stuff that I've picked up, and so I just want to kind of show you guys, and I'll tell you a little bit of a brief description or a little bit of my opinion in it, and then towards the end of the video I'm gonna do a Q&A. I put up a box on my Instagram for people to ask me questions. Unfortunately, I didn't get as many questions as I was hoping, but that's totally okay because my Instagram is not as big as other platforms that I have, or at least my TikTok. So it is completely understandable. I have some screenshots of those questions, and then I will put them towards the end of the video. So let's start with my favorite pickup of like the last 6 weeks, and this is probably the oldest pickup in my collection out of the ones I have. But that is Penhaligon's. I don't know if it'll focus on there. Penhaligon's Fortuitous Finley. This is a fragrance right here that when it came out, I was really interested in trying it, and I went to Neiman Marcus and I tried it. I loved it. Turns out that the distributor from Penhaligon's had reached out to me by email, and they said they wanted to send me the fragrance, and I was like, heck yeah. So I was super fortunate to be able to receive this fragrance. I absolutely love it. It is definitely in the top 10 of my fragrances and definitely top 5 of my most used currently. Unfortunately, it is a little bit hot in Florida right now, so I'm not wearing it as much. While it's still fresh enough to be worn, it is a little bit more serious. So I haven't been reaching for it for the last week that much just because it's been so hot. Let's get into the next one. I got Lattaf's Platine Blanc. Just Platine, not Platine Blanc. I'm confusing it with another fragrance. But Lattaf's Platine. This is very similar to YSL Y Elixir. This is super solid, and honestly, for the price, you cannot go wrong. I was gifted by one of the perfumeries that I go to. This fragrance right here is Lamar by Kajal. This was my pick. So normally, like, if I get sent something, I won't get to choose what I want. Or in many cases, I won't get to choose what I want. However, this was a gift that I was able to choose, and so I really like Lamar, and I decided to try Lamar. So I also received Spice Bomb Extreme. I was able to collaborate actually with Victor and Rolf for a video in this, and honestly, I'm glad I got this fragrance because I've tried it before, and while I never thought it was a bad fragrance, I never gave it the time that it needed. So I ended up really enjoying this fragrance because I was doing a video. Normally, I like to wear the fragrance a couple times before I make the video so that I've gotten enough of a good idea of what the fragrance smells like, how it develops throughout the day. And so since I was wearing it for a couple days before my video, I really started to really enjoy this fragrance, which I wish I would have given it more time prior, but I guess it doesn't matter. I got it now, so it is what it is. Another fragrance that I was fortunate enough to receive is Bottled Absolute by Hugo Boss. This I tried when I was at the Millennium Mall. I tried it with some of my friends, Ezra, and stuff like that. And honestly, the moment I got my nose on it, I was like, this is the most niche smelling designer fragrance I've smelled. And quite honestly, they did a phenomenal job. Is it for everybody? Probably not. It is a heavier leather fragrance. So like, you do got to keep that in mind. However, in terms of quality and smell profile, it is absolutely amazing. Me, myself, I ended up buying the Drake fragrance. I've made a couple videos on this. You guys have probably seen it by this point, but I did pick up the Drake fragrance. I'm very like in the middle with it. I don't think it deserves some of the hate that it's gotten because the fragrance quite literally is not that bad. But I also don't think this should be glazed. This is not an amazing fragrance. This is a good fragrance. It's pretty wearable, unisex. It's nice. It's better than many releases that artists do. I will say they put in probably a little bit better quality ingredients into this than most artist fragrances have. However, scent profile wise, is just a little too floral for my liking. While it's not bad, it's just not something that I think is amazing. You know, there's way better stuff out in the market, but I do like the fact that I have it in my collection. It looks cool, and it's still a pretty, I guess, big release. It's good to have, I guess. It's a collector. It's a cool collector's item. Okay, let's see what else we got here. So I did visit the Orientica headquarters down in Miami, and they gifted me this fragrance right here. It's called Old Fashioned. This is a inspiration, or is inspired by, excuse me. It's inspired by Angel Share. However, it does its own thing. Feels boozier, and it kind of just has its own vibe to it. And when it dries down, it truly shines. And in my opinion, the dry down is better than the Angel Share dry down. That's just my personal opinion. I'm not telling you that it is better than Angel Share. I'm just telling you that for me, the dry down is better than Angel Share for me personally. And then I also picked up, oops, I just moved my light. I also picked up Royal Blue, or they gifted me Royal Blue. This has some vibes similar to Layton. However, I do find it more wearable because that Vapor Rub Vicks smell is a lot more toned down. So it really just truly feels a lot more wearable. And Layton, I wouldn't wear. This, I've already worn like 3 or 4 times since I got it. So it is a super good inspiration of that. I did buy Diptyque Orpheon. So you probably seen my YouTube video by now. I've been wearing this one a lot. I actually took it down to Miami, and this was the one that I was wearing until I got gifted those. Once I got those, and I've been wearing those. But on the way down and days up, I was wearing Orpheon a lot. Such a clean scent, easy to wear, and a lot of people actually have complimented me on it. So that is cool. I also got in Torino 24. This one's been gaining a lot of hype. I would put it in 3rd place in terms of the Torino. I would put Torino 21 first, Torino 22 second, Torino 24, and then last place Torino 23. I really don't like Torino 23, but oh shit, this is Torino 21. Torino 24 is over there. I'm going to keep it like that, so I'm not going to go get... It's one of the boxes over there. I'm not going to open it. This is actually Torino 21, not Torino 24. But I did get Torino 24. You probably see the video. Have seen the video. I also did get sent Angel Stellar and A-Man Stellar by Mugler. These are my first Mugler fragrances. But I was pretty excited because Mugler is like an OG. Like, Mugler's been around for, I feel like, a long time. And so to have these sent is actually pretty freaking cool. In terms of the scent profile, they're decent. I like them, but I don't think they're gonna be for everybody. They're like pretty earthy and pistachio like. So like, I know not everybody's gonna like that scent profile. However, if you're a pistachio lover or you want to really get into pistachio fragrances, these are great options. So another one that I ended up buying while I was down in Miami, I picked up a bottle of Dara Karo's Sweet Obsession. It's a pretty cool bottle. Let me show you guys. So Dara Karo works a lot with oud fragrances, and so this is a cotton candy and oud fragrance. I was really wanting to have it in my collection. I enjoy it. I will say I had higher expectations for it because some of my friends in the space have really glazed this. My expectations were definitely a lot higher for it. Is it bad? No. Is it as good as I was expecting it to be? No. So it's good. I enjoy it. I'll probably continue to wear it pretty often. However, I really thought like, yo, this is going to be the fragrance that I'm looking for. And so it didn't scratch the itch that I was looking for. I was looking for a cotton candy oud fragrance that had a nice oud to it, but I didn't want to go as hard as the aromatics. So like aromatics, this fragrance right here, this has a cotton candy accord in there, and it also has like the oud and the leathery vibes, but it's super heavy. It's super heavy on the leather, and so it makes it not as wearable. And so I was hoping with this one, with Dara Karo, I was hoping that it gave me that punch of oud. It made it more wearable, but it still had a heavy cotton candy vibe to it. And I think this went too far down the chill area. Like, it feels very soft. It's not a loud fragrance, and I thought it would be. So I was looking for a middle ground in between soft and really heavy leather, and I was trying to go to the middle with this one, but it actually went way too far the other way. Like it went way too chill. And so that is why I think it didn't meet my expectations in terms of like what I was looking for in that type of fragrance, because I thought I would get a little bit more of a punchier oud and heavier cotton candy note, but it actually feels very calm, very close to the skin in a way. And so that's how I feel about it. Is it good? Yes. Did it meet my expectations? No. Anyways, I talked a lot of crap, but you guys get it. This is YouTube. I'm allowed to speak my mind on YouTube, okay? It's not TikTok where everybody's freaking attention span is fried and I can't talk. If you came to this video, it's because you came to see me yap. So that's what we're going to do. I also got from the people over at Orientica, I did get this fragrance right here. It's called a Dark Desire. I'll show you guys the bottle. It is inspired by Symphony, and it is a pretty good inspiration of Symphony. I do know that Game of Spades sent over their also inspiration of that, so I guess I'll try that one as well, and I'll let you guys know how I feel about each one. I was gifted Dazzling Dubai by the people over at HDYS Parfums. I bought a couple fragrances, or I bought that fragrance from them, and I actually have a link with the lady at HDYS Parfums, and so I had some credit left over, and so with that credit, she gifted me this. So I mean, it works out. It's cool. So I also got 2 fragrances from Elion Dubai. This is Curly Fragrances brand. So shout out to Michelle for sending these out. In the process of filming this video, I actually dropped this bottle. It did not break, but this top part here did come off. I guess I broke it. But I absolutely love these 2. They are very strong fragrances. Both of them lasted me over 15 hours. So they're super high quality, super good fragrances. They are really loud though. So just keep that in mind if you're considering these. They are super loud fragrances, like super heavy projection. This one is super heavy on that leather vibe. And this one is like an oud and rose combination that dries down into a vanilla. It's honestly very, very nice. And then the coolest package that I've gotten in the last couple of days is this Margiela package. I'll show you guys real quick. Oh, I closed it up. But basically, they sent over 3 fragrances from their summer collection. I'm not sure if all 3 of them are new, to be completely honest with you. But I'll show you guys the packaging real quick, because why not? By the way, Never Ending Summer is an absolute banger. So it has like a little Polaroid sticker on there. And then they sent 2 small ones of Sailing Day and Beach Walk. And then they sent a full bottle of Never Ending Summer. So you guys can see it right there. It is a really cool fragrance. I love what they did to it. And it feels like a nice little story. And I think that's why I really like this fragrance, because it almost feels quite literally like transporting yourself onto the Amalfi Coast. You're having an orange, you're having a fizzy drink, like a sparkling water, and then you're just enjoying like vacation. Like that is exactly what it smells like. And I think they did a great job. I don't always wear Margiela fragrances just because some of them are really simple for my taste. However, these are very good, but Never Ending Summer for sure is a banger. So that is pretty much my pickups in the last 6 weeks or so. Okay, so we're about to get right into the Q&A. However, I did want to say, while I was down in Miami, I tried Lucius by Fragrance Du Bois. Phenomenal fragrance. When I make my TikTok video about it, which I'm going to record after I'm done with this YouTube video, I'm literally going to say that it is if Aventus and Vibrato had a long lost cousin that was Batman twice a week. That is exactly the best way to describe it, because it has that grapefruit and Aventus-like type vibe, but as it dries down, it feels darker and smokier. But it's not like Batman level smoky. It's only like your Batman twice a week type smoky. So it's not everyday type thing. It's like, it's a light smoke. It's a chill smoke. So, but it's a phenomenal fragrance. I was about to buy it while I was down there, but I'm about to segue into this question by saying that, I don't know if you guys know, but I'm a full-time content creator now. And I'm going to be honest, I'm going to be real with y'all, because y'all are my peoples over here on YouTube. But I'm not making the same amount of money that I was when I had a real job. So like, I can't be spending $435 just out of nowhere unless I'm like actually mentally consciously saving money for that. And that's just me being honest, because I'm a very small content creator that I just make enough off of videos to like pay the bills and then maybe get 1 or 2 fragrances every once in a while. I can't be buying like I used to back in the day just because I had like adult money. You know what I mean? And that's just me being honest with you guys. But that segues me into the first question that I got by my boy Carlos. Shout out for this question. Pros and cons of the influencer life. And there's a lot of pros and cons, to be completely honest with you guys. I have to say that I'm going to start with the cons because let's throw the negative stuff out there first and then we'll finish with the good stuff. So in terms of cons, number one con is you really don't have any stability whatsoever. You know, most of the money, I'll be transparent with you guys because I really feel like it's the right thing to do. Be honest with my audience and people who want to watch me. It wouldn't be fair if I've lied to you guys. But when it comes to making money, most of the money I make is through links and commissions, right? I get some money from video views, but the video views, my videos have to do really, really well to make a decent amount of money. And so that doesn't really happen often. So most of my payments or most of the money that I make a month is coming purely from commission. And so you have zero stability. I can make a few $1,000s one month and I can make like barely any another month, right? So you can go from like, holy crap, I just made few $1,000s, like $3,000 to $5,000. Sometimes it's more on commission. But dude, I can have a month where I made $1,000. And I don't know where you guys live, but in Orlando, where I live at, you can't make it with $1,000, especially when you got car insurance, gas, like all these. You cannot survive on $1,000. It's absolutely impossible. So you need to be smart with your money. You need to know when you can spend, when you can't spend, and you need to also just be, you know, thankfully I was pretty smart with my money when I had a job, so I do have some savings in case things get really, really rough. But I try not to touch that as much as possible because that is emergency funds. You know what I mean? So other than that, is another con is that like people think that you're living the life because you are doing content creation full time. Like they think you just got it like that. And I just want to let you guys know, we as content creators only let you see what we want you to see. Like if we're struggling, you're not going to see that. If we're having this or that, you're never going to see that because we're not going to allow you to see that. Because we don't want people to feel, I don't like when people feel sorry for me. I personally hate when people feel sorry for me. Like, yo, I got some issues. I'm down. I'm not feeling great. Like, I'm going to just do what I got to do to make it happen. Like, yeah, I might talk to somebody, but I'm not going to come out here on social media and like throw a pity party or want to pity, whatever you call it. Like, I'm just not like that type of person. So we're just going to make it like work. But yeah, a lot of people think you just got it. A lot of people think like, oh, you're a social media guy now. Like you got it, you got money, or you got this. When in reality, I'm just trying to make my dream come to life. But yeah, I mean, other than the stability part, the biggest thing is like, you don't know if you're going to make it. I believe in myself 100%. I know I can do this, right? But you don't know if you're going to make it. I could continue to grind for the next 2 years and never accomplish my dream. I could. I'm not saying that's going to be the case because I don't think it will, but that's always still laying down in the background that I can grind for the next 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, who knows? And I might not get to the level that I want to be. It's always the uncertainty. And you're going to ask yourself, and if you're wanting to do something like this, right? If you're watching this and you want to do social media, like, you got to understand that, like, this is not going to be guaranteed. However, if you get a corporate job, you know that if you retire, you know, in 40, 50 years, you're going to have your 401k, you're going to have your retirement money, you're going to have this, you're going to have that. That doesn't exist in the social media world. You don't just get 401k. You don't get health insurance. You don't get nothing through your company. You're working for yourself and by yourself. And so, like, it's very risky. So you don't have stability in terms of how much money you're making a month. You don't have any 401k for the future. You have no retirement money. And you also, like, get constant, like, pressure from outside sources and also pressure from yourself to, especially if you're very ambitious, you're going to want to do better than other people. Like, you want to push through. You want to go forward. And, like, that might not be, like, it might be a lot of pressure. And not everybody's going to be able to take that pressure. And sometimes you might have a bank account at zero, bro. You might have no money in your bank account, and you gotta keep pushing through. And you know that the check next week is not coming because you're not employed by anybody. So that is the cons. Pros, my own schedule. I've always been somebody who needs to work on my own schedule. Like, I'm extremely productive, I'm extremely hardworking, but when you give me a time frame that you decided, kind of gets annoying sometimes. Like, to having someone tell you what to do all the time, like, it kind of gets annoying to me personally. Some people need that. I don't need that. I know what type of work I gotta do, and I know that if I don't do the work, I'm not gonna reap the benefits of it. So you know for sure I'm gonna get to work. But I can get a video edited at 12 in the morning. I can get a video edited at 5 in the morning. I can get a video edited at 7 p.m. I can get a video done at any point. And as long as I'm just making time for it, like, I got my own schedule. I decide when I want to make videos, when I want to make content. And so that is super freedom. Like, you know, you get a lot of freedom from the fact that you can make your own schedule. That's number one con. Number one pro is the amount of freedom that you get. So it's kind of like a balance beam, right? Like, you get no stability, but you also get a lot of freedom coming from it. Another thing is traveling. I'm not to the point where I'm like some of the other big creators. Okay, so my camera got hot and it turned off, which is why I sometimes get frustrated with it. But anyways, let's continue right where I left off. And I was saying that another cool thing is that you get to travel with companies. I am not at that point yet, but hopefully I'll be there soon. But a lot of creators get flown out by brands to, you know, basically market whatever release they have, and they get to travel under the brand. So, like, that's something that I think is pretty freaking cool. Also, if you do make it, like, obviously, like, if you make it like big, like, you start making a lot of money, because social media right now has turned into what, you know, commercials used to be in TV. Like, billboards, commercials, radio station commercials, like, all of that stuff, all those advertisements are now through social media. So creators are the new form of basically advertisements. So if you can gain a large following, that already means money for the companies, because the more you can promote a product, the companies see that as valuable, and then you can start making a lot of money for advertising these companies. And that's pretty much how you make most of the money. Let's get into the next questions, because I know my camera's gonna get hot again eventually. So what was my very first cologne? My very first cologne was an Adidas. It was a yellow bottle. I got it when I was in like late middle school. And that was my first cologne. Now, my first like real cologne was actually Dior Sauvage. That was kind of the one that became my signature scent that people really complimented me on. And then my collection kind of started being based off of that one. My top 5 least favorite fragrances. This is a tough question because there is so many fragrances out in the market that it's hard to pick my least favorite ones. I don't like Stronger With You. In Love With You. It's one of the Armani ones. It's called Freeze, the Freeze version. It's a woman's perfume. I absolutely hate that one. It smells terrible. Let me see what else is. Pretty much any Bond Number 9 I'm not a big fan of. So the whole brand. So that would be Bond Number 9. There's a lot of ones that I don't like from Bond Number 9. Tom Ford Oud Wood. Horrendous fragrance. Absolutely terrible fragrance. Let me see what else I don't like. Trying to think off the top of my head here. I didn't love Tony Iommi, the gray bottle, the black bottle, which I ended up trading away. I like the gray bottle, but Tony Iommi Defied, I didn't like that much, which is why I traded it away. And then let's see what else. I'm trying to think. That's pretty much what I got right now. I'm sure I'll make a least favorite fragrances video eventually. Another question is my top 5 favorite fragrances. Poets of Berlin, Louis Vuitton Imagination, probably SOUT Elixir by Eamon Terrence Hughes. What else do I wear a lot? I got my top 3, which are those. I do like right now probably the Azzaro Most Wanted Elixir. I'm really loving that one a lot right now. And let's see what else. Probably Les Sables Roses by Louis Vuitton. That's my top 5 fragrances. That was by Mark. Mark asked me that question. How did you go being from a fragrance lover to a fragrance influencer? Okay, so I've been liking fragrances for a long time. I just wasn't into the collecting aspect of it. So I enjoyed the fact that I smelled good because I've always been pretty picky with my hygiene. That was mostly something my dad always like brought up on me. He was like, you need to smell good, you need to be clean, you need to shave, you need to do this. Like my dad is very like super like hygienic. And so he kind of passed that on to me like as I was growing up. And so like I never wanted to smell bad. Like genuine fears of mine, smelling bad, having something in my teeth, and having something in my nose. Like those were like my biggest things that I was like super concerned about. In terms of like just my appearance wise, which was just, it's minimal. It's not the biggest worst thing in the world. Like everybody has something in their teeth. Everybody has boogers. Everybody, like it's something that's normal. But like I wanted to try my best to be as clean as possible. So I think my love for fragrances started there. And then eventually as I started to figure out that there's many fragrances to choose from, and you can choose depending on the day, depending on the occasion, depending on how you're feeling, depending on the message that you want to portray. Like all of these things can involve fragrances, and I just started to find out more and more information about it. And then next thing you know, I'm like starting to collect stuff. And very early in my career or collecting, I only had like probably around 10 fragrances or 15 fragrances. And that was like, well, I might as well document this. I mean, I'm already gonna start buying more, so like I'm really into it, so I might as well document it. And then that ended up making me to the point I am now, so a fragrance content creator, which it's interesting, it's different. And I really enjoy making content. One of the reasons why I decided to document my journey is because I had another TikTok page that I had ran back in the day. It was a gym fitness account that I liked, and before that, we used to make I used to make YouTube videos with my cousin. We always wanted to be gamers, and we wanted to do YouTube. So I've always been a really big fan. I used to also be a photographer. So I used to be always a big fan of content creation and through a camera lens, whether it was videos or pictures. So I think it was perfect for me. And this just happened to be one of my hobbies that I decided to start documenting. And next thing you know, I'm here now. So, but yeah, I'm going to wrap it up there, guys, because this video is probably already really long. I hope you were able to stick around through the whole time. I hope you like the pickups, and I hope you like the Q&A. I tried to get a little bit more personal here on YouTube, so that you guys can see the type of person that I truly am, rather than just seeing like a minute long video that I post on TikTok, because that doesn't really, you can't really like know me like that. You know what I mean? Like it's hard for you to gauge somebody off of a minute long video. Like sometimes people come off as really cool and they're actually assholes when you actually meet them. And then sometimes it's the other way around. You think they're assholes because they make a minute long video, but then it turns out that when you meet them, they're actually really cool people. So I want you guys to kind of see the type of person that I am, and so that's why I like YouTube a lot more than other platforms, because I can truly just voice my opinions, talk about things without feeling like I have to deliver content in a certain amount of time. So if you like this type of content, be sure to let me know in the comments. I always read comments. I try my best to always respond. I appreciate all the support that you guys have given me. Thank you guys for watching, and make sure to follow Tony Aromas for more.